That's an extra.
Welcome, everyone. Welcome. Chag Sameach.
Chag Sameach.
Happy Simchat Torah. We are so happy to be together. We are here to celebrate the unbroken story of which we are a part and which we hold on to guide our lives. The Torah, which means all of the traditions, the stories, the values that have been handed down to us through the generations. And we always like to celebrate at Simchat Torah the consecration of our new religious school students. It is a beautiful opportunity to celebrate those who are beginning their journey of learning Torah, of learning what it means to be part of this story and to be part of creating the story as it goes forward into the generations. So tonight, we are so thrilled to begin our evening together with the consecration, the celebration of our new Anson Religious School students. So I'm going to invite Amy Deutsch, director of the Anson Religious School, to come up to welcome everyone and share a few words.
Shalom. That's better. I'm Amy Deutsch, the director of the Anson Religious School. It is my complete privilege to stand here and introduce you to our newest ARS students, ready to consecrate and make holy the start of their Jewish education. In a moment, our students will be entering the room and joining me here on the bima. As they walk in, I'll be calling out their names, and parents, I want you to know I'm not calling their names in the order they're walking in. I'm calling in alphabetical order. So if you hear a name and you don't see your child, they're still here. They're coming in. At this point, I'd love to invite the 6th grade parents to come up here and be ready to hold the talit over our younger students as they come up. Thank you. All right, my friends. Come on in.
Awesome. Thank you. Good.
Beatrice Combs, Gideon Gorley, Ren Gorley, Sam Krieger, Benjamin Leiter, Jacob Leiter, Noah Michelson, Maeve Miller, Eve Quiet. They're supposed to come right here.
Come over this way, guys.
Sorry. Noah Quiet, Olivia Rothman, Aviva Santinelli Leibel, Jonah Solomon, Sophie Stahl, Eliza Stein, Cecilia Swanson, Natalie Swanson, Ryan Nair, Santiago Uribe Chester, and Anya Volenskaya. And I think I said everyone's names. Isn't this just the most beautiful and special thing you've ever seen? Ever? If you are a parent, a grandparent, a beloved friend, or family member who came with one of our students up here, I invite you to rise at your seats for this moment. So my friends, I'm going to ask you to use your hands, and I know that's hard because you're holding something, but we're going to do it anyway. I want to offer you some words of blessing. Put your hands on your heart. You can hold the Torah there too. May your heart always be filled with kindness and love. May you be ready to help others, ready to be empathetic, ready to be a good friend, and ready to build community. Okay, now put your hands on your head. As this new year starts, may your head be ready to be filled with learning, to stretch and discover new ideas, to realize your strengths, to work through your challenges, and to be excited to learn. Now I want you to make some muscles. Yeah, you know how to do that.
There you go.
May you use your strength and power to bring goodness into the world. And now reach your hands out. Can you reach your hands forward? May your hands be a source of justice, working to bring wholeness to our world and help those in need. May you find your own path to Judaism, to Jewish learning and Jewish exploration, and may you be your very best self. And together, let's say, Amen.
Amen. Now, friends, if you could stay there just for a minute, and sixth grade parents, I know your hands are getting tired. Thank you so much. Feel free to switch arms if you need. This will just be a moment, but I am going to offer to you, our newest ARS students, the priestly blessing, an ancient, ancient blessing, thousands of years old, that I hope to give to you many other times during your time with us, including when you reach the age of B'nai Mitzvah. And friends, you are all, each of you is holding the tiniest Torah to have ever been seen in all the world. But the Torah that you have in your hearts, which is how smart you are and how kind you are and how much you have to teach the world, is so, so big. And we are so excited to welcome your big, big Torah into our community. So I'm going to sing you this blessing. Yivarechecha Adonai ve'yishmerecha, Yair Adonai panav elecha v'chuneka, Yisa Adonai panav elecha ve'yasem lecha shalom. May you feel safe and protected by God. May God's light shine on you. May God be gracious to you. May you feel God within you. May you shine out your beautiful light into the world. And may you know peace. And we say, Ken yehi ratzon, so may it be. Thank you so much, sixth grade parents. You had the harder jobs. Thank you so much. You can put the talis away.
So my friends, make sure that you get your special certificates from me as we go down, okay? Cassie has some, I have some. Actually, we're all going to go that way over to Cassie. That way.
And we're going to sing Shehechianu, because that's what we sing when we've reached a special new moment, which we certainly have for these students and their families and as a community. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, shehechianu v'kimanu v'hegianu l'zman hazeh. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, shehechianu v'kimanu v'hegianu l'zman hazeh. All right, what Josh is doing right now is inviting the ARS band to come on up to the bima. We have so many reasons to celebrate tonight, to celebrate Torah, to celebrate our tradition, to celebrate our community, to celebrate our religious school, and now, new this year, to celebrate our amazing Anson Religious School Band and the amazing students who stepped up to be pushed hard by Josh to be their best musicians selves and to participate tonight and in so many other ways. We're going to be singing with them, Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu, may peace yet come upon us. And then we say salam, which is the Arabic for shalom, for peace. So join in.
1, 2, ready, go. Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu. Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu. Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu. Ve'akulam. Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu. Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu. Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu. Ve'akulam. Salam. Salam. Aleinu ve'al kol ha'olam. Salam. 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 Aleinu ve'al kol ha'olam. Salam. Salam. Please join us. Od Yavo, sing it out. Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu. Sing it out, Jack. Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu. Rock it out, Caleb. Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu. Ve'akulam. Yeah, Hannah. Od Yavo. Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu. Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu. Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu. Ve'akulam. Salam. Salam. Aleinu ve'al kol ha'olam. Salam. 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 Aleinu ve'al kol ha'olam. Salam. Salam. One more time. Od Yavo, sing it out. Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu. Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu. Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu. Ve'akulam. Hannah on cello, Kayla on piano, and Jack on vocals. Our AS band, everyone.
Amazing. So we have a lot of kids participating in the ARS band this year. There's always room for more, and there's always room for more adult participants in our band and our synagogue chorus, which are being revitalized and revamped. So if any of you are interested in any of those opportunities, let Josh know if you are a kid or if you know a kid who's interested, and let David Spar know, our music director, if you are an adult who's interested in singing or playing music with us. I think we can aim to be the most musical congregation anywhere. We can easily achieve that.
Love to see it.
With your help.
Love to see it.
All right, so we've reached the part of the evening where we are going to welcome in the holiday of Simchat Torah. And Simchat Torah is the conclusion of the festival of Sukkot. Raise your hand if you got to spend any time in a sukkah over the last week. A lot of you did, because I saw a lot of you there. A lot of my young friends were there and shaking lulav with me and enjoying or making decorations and enjoying the holiday. And at the conclusion of the holiday, just to make things complicated, by the way, in case you don't know, in Israel, it's one way. There's a seventh night. We are celebrating this. We do what Israel does in the Reformed Jewish community. So that's what we're doing. But you'll see that other communities are celebrating Simchat Torah tomorrow night. So 2 Jews, 3 opinions, right? That's the way it goes. So we like to bring in Simchat Torah as soon as possible, because it is honestly the best holiday. And we're thrilled that this evening we can bring back our tradition of dancing with our Torah scrolls on Beacon Street in a little while, and also of unrolling our Torah scroll around the sanctuary, which we also didn't do in quite the same way last year or the year before. So we begin, as we begin with any holiday, by lighting the candles. But before we usher in the holiday in that way, I just want to invite you to think about something. The Torah, as I said earlier, is full of stories. It's one big, amazing, sacred story. And does it matter if everything that it says in the Torah really happened for it to be a sacred, holy story? No. So some things might have happened just the way they say, some things might not have happened the way, but it's so special because the Jewish people has held on to this story for thousands of years, for generations and generations, and every one of us here tonight and everyone in the Jewish community is part of the story. The story didn't end. The story keeps going because we keep reading the scroll, the 5 books of the Torah again and again and again, but it also keeps going because every one of us has something to add to the story in our lives and our thoughts and our ideas and our questions. So we are celebrating Torah, but we're celebrating what we all are to the Torah and what the Torah is to us. And we are in a relationship with the Torah that is so special. So I want you to think about that tonight. And I'm going to light the candles. The candle lighting blessing ends with Yom Tov, because that means good day or a holiday.
Can be found on page 120.
Thank you, Rabbi Jen. The candle lighting blessing is on page 120 in your prayer book. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Yom Tov. And guess what? We get to say another Shehechianu because it's a holiday. 2 Shechianus in one night makes for a wonderful night. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, shehechianu v'kiyamanu v'higianu lazman hazeh. So, if you have not yet had the pleasure of meeting her, I would like to introduce you to our new assistant rabbi of TOS, Jen Queen.
Hello and Chag Sameach, everybody. I said Chag Sameach, everybody. That's better. So as today is Simchat Torah, today is all about celebrating, as Rabbi Berkman said, our connection to, our relationship with the Torah, the story of our people, from way, way, way back at the beginning to the very, very first people according to our collective narrative, our collective foundational myths, all the way to now. We are linked, inextricably linked and bound in this chain of tradition that each one of us, whether we were born into it, whether we chose it for ourselves, no matter who in our family might have been born into it, regardless of how we got here, we are here. And we are connected to it, and it is connected to you. And this community and this Jewish people would not be what it is without each and every one of us, each and every one of you. So I want to start with a blessing. May our eyes sparkle with the light of Torah, and our ears hear the music of its words. May the space between each letter in the scroll bring warmth and comfort to our souls. May the syllables draw holiness from our heart, and may this holiness be gentle and soothing to us and to all of God's creatures. And together we say, Amen. So if you've been to a Torah service lately or ever, you'll notice that tonight when we bring the Torahs out, it's going to look and sound and feel a little bit different from a normal Shabbat Torah service. So first of all, we will bring all of our Torah scrolls out, and I believe we have some volunteers who are going to help us with that. So if you have volunteered or if you've been tapped to hold a Torah, get ready. So we're going to be unrolling one of our Torah scrolls all the way around the room. We're going to open up the whole thing for everybody to see. And at that point in time, we're going to have our 6th graders and even some of our 7th graders and maybe even some of our 8th graders, I hope, come up to stand by their place in the Torah. their Torah portion for their bar or bat or b'nai mitzvah. And if you don't know exactly where it is, that's okay. I will help you find it. And also, we'd like to invite anybody else who remembers what their Torah portion is, who'd like to come up and find theirs. We would love for you to join us at that point as well, as we gather around the room. We're going to be reading, instead of a regular Torah portion for the week, today, at this point, we've come to the very, 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 very end of the Torah. The very last words that wrap up the book of Deuteronomy, the very last book, where, spoiler alert, Moses dies. But then, even in this very sad moment, we come all the way back to the very, very beginning. Just as we complete the reading of the Torah, we start it anew. And we'll see when we open up the scroll that the very last letter in the entire Torah is a lamed. And then the very, very first letter, when we go all the way back to the beginning, is a bet, which spells in Hebrew, any Hebrew speakers in the room? Lamed bet? It spells lev, the Hebrew word for heart. So with that idea in mind, we really take it upon ourselves to approach the Torah with all of our hearts, with all of our soul, with all of our mind and our being, bringing everything we have to it, because it gives everything that we have to us. And on this day, where we're transitioning from this litany, this huge month-long celebration of Jewish holidays, from Rosh Hashanah, Yom Kippur, Sukkot, Shmini Atzeret, and now Simchat Torah, we're about to re-enter our regular day-to-day lives and our regularly scheduled programming, so to speak. But now, as we leave the holiday season, our hearts are filled with the new discoveries and insight of the holidays that have just passed, from all the reflection and conversation and interpersonal and intrapersonal work that we've all been doing throughout the last month. So we get to renew ourselves, renew the Torah cycle, and renew our commitment to being a part of it and to it being a part of us. And then after reading, just to give y'all a roadmap of the evening, after doing our reading, Rabbi Berkman and I will be chanting from the Torah, the beginning and the end. While during normal services we carry the Torah around the room once, we're going to be carrying our Torah scrolls around 7 times, and we'll be doing this outside. These are called hakafot. So we encircle our sanctuary and ourselves with the Torah, recognizing and experiencing the continuity and endlessness of the teachings of Torah. As it is said in Pirkei Avot, the wisdom of our ancestors, hafoch ba v'hafoch ba, dechol ba, turn it and turn it again, for everything is contained within it. And at that point, we will head out to Beacon Street, where we will dance with the Torah. All right, I think we're ready.
I have one thing to add. If that's not enough to entice you to stay, there will also be cookies.
There will also be cookies.
So,
Right.
I know what you all really want. That's what I really want too.
So
Okay.
at this time, we are going to invite our Torah holders to come up and help. Yes?
We're going to unroll. We're just going to take out the one Torah.
The one Torah for now?
But yes,
Amazing.
you're going to help us
Fabulous.
as we unroll it. But we're also going to need you when we take out our scrolls to go out into the street
Okay,
at the
great.
end.
So I'm going to need, so who's going to be the one
So-
who's going to hold it initially? Who wants to volunteer? Fabulous. I'm going to give you this. Yep.
But we're going to unroll it. First, we're doing En Kamocha and all of
Yeah.
that.
I know, but
Okay.
I want to be able to.
Okay. So we're going to be on page 230 in the prayer book, our weekday and festival prayer book, page 230. And when we open the ark, we'll invite you to rise as you're able. Ein kamocha ba'Elohim Adonai, ve'ein kema'asecha
Malchutecha malchut kol olamim, umemshaltecha bechol dor vador. Adonai melech, Adonai malach, Adonai imloch leolam va'ed. Adonai oz le'amo yitain, Adonai yivarech et amo b'shalom. Av harachamim etiv avertzoncha et Zion. Tivnei chomot Yerushalayim, Tivnei chomot Yerushalayim. Ki v'cha levad batachnu, Melech Elam v'nisa Adon olamim. You hold it one from underneath. Yeah. You want to put your hand right here.
Ki
Mitzion teitzei Torah. Ki mitzion teitzei Torah. Udevar Adonai miYerushalayim. Baruch shenatan Torah Torah. Baruch shenatan Torah Torah le'amo Yisrael b'kedushato.
And just as we did on the high holy days of Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur, we recite the 13 attributes of God, God's compassion and mercy, as said to Moses in the book of Exodus, page 232.
Adonai, Adonai, El Rachum v'Chanun, Erech Apayim, Barav Chesed v'Emet, Notzer Chesed la'alafim, Nosei Avon v'Chesha, v'Chata v'Nakeh. Adonai, Adonai, El Rachum v'Chanun, Erech Apayim, Barav Chesed v'Emet, Notzer Chesed la'alafim, Nosei Avon v'Chesha, v'Chata v'Nakeh. Adonai, Adonai, El Rachum v'Chanun, Erech Apayim, Barav Chesed v'Emet, Notzer Chesed la'alafim, Nosei Avon v'Chesha, v'Chata v'Nakeh. We'll continue on page 232. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad.
Echad Eloheinu, Gadol Adonenu, Kadosh Shemo.
Echad Eloheinu, Gadol Adonenu, Kadosh Shemo.
Gadlul Adonai iti, unerom ema Shemo yachdav.
Page 233, Al Shlosha Devarim.
Al Shlosha Devarim, Al Shlosha Devarim, Al Shlosha Devarim, Haolam Omer. Al Shlosha Devarim, Al Shlosha Devarim, Al Shlosha Devarim, Haolam Omer. Al HaTorah ve'al ha'avodah ve'al Gemilut Chasadim. Al HaTorah ve'al ha'avodah ve'al Gemilut Chasadim. Al Shlosha Devarim, Al Shlosha Devarim, Al Shlosha Devarim, Haolam Omer. Al Shlosha Devarim, Al Shlosha Devarim, Al Shlosha Devarim, Haolam
Okay, while
Omer.
we are unrolling the Torah, everybody, some of you know this because you've been here in past years. Okay, so while we are unrolling the Torah, very slowly and carefully, it is going to go around this way, and you are welcome to gather around it, behind it, or in front of it. Please do not touch it with your fingers. We have gloves that we're going to need some hands to help gently hold the Torah, and we have gloves for those who wish to help do that. And it's wonderful if you've done that for us before and you'd like to help again. So we're asking everyone's going to need to move around the room in order to help with that.
If you already have gloves, you can come on down, and as the Torah continues to be unrolled, so we want folks to line up kind of behind it. So if we can get a couple folks over here to line up, just scooch around. What's your name? I'm sorry. It's Braden. Nice to see you, Braden. Thank you. All right. So just right behind Braden. Yeah. And if you want to come right here where I'm holding.
We're out of practice from these last few years, but we are doing great
so some
so
of the
far.
teens are handing them out. Teens, if you have a box of gloves, can you hold them up so people can see you? Fantastic. Thank you so much. Amazing. Yep.
And kids
Jim's
who
got
are
it. Fantastic.
going to be sort of on the inside of the circle, I've heard that done as a beautiful image of the Torah encircling you.
Yeah, love it. We can kind of spread out a little bit.
Yes,
This is so awesome.
this is
Here,
already
so we're gonna
amazing.
hold as close to the top as we can, and we want to hold it above. We don't want it to catch. Yeah. Hold it on the bindings as much as you can, and like as close to the top as you possibly can, so your fingers aren't touching the ink at all. I know you've got gloves on, but still, we want to be careful of the writing. This is gorgeous. Look at this. I know you can see it's starting to come around the edges. This is so incredible. And younger ones, if you want to go towards the ends of the aisles so you can see, hey, I will call you up.
רוממו אדוני אלוהינו והשתחוו לך קודשו כי קדוש אדוני אלוהינו רוממו כי קדוש אדוני אלוהינו רוממו רוממו אדוני אלוהינו והשתחוו והשתחוו
Oh my goodness. All right, sixth graders. Actually, we're going to need you on this side, so I need you to come back around.
אלוהינו והשתחוו
Or just very carefully, very carefully. The most high stakes limbo game you've ever played. Phenomenal. All right. So, all right, sixth grade, guys. I will get you your answers as soon as I have all of you down here. Sixth graders, come find me.
Sixth graders have worked very
Goodness, there's Shirat Hayal, Naz Yashir Moshe. All right, we're going to do this in a minute. I will, hold on. All right, friends, here's a pop quiz. That's okay. Here's a pop quiz. Where's the front? Where's the front of the Torah? Josh, don't. I know you know. It's over there. I'm asking the sixth graders. It's over here. All right. So if your Torah portion, I know everybody's got so many questions. I love it. So first of all, I want everybody to just take a look around, starting over here with Aiden. Is that your name? Aiden? Amazing. So Aiden's holding Bereshit. And look at this gorgeous, gorgeous Torah scroll. So just by way of introduction, the Torah scroll, every single one, every single letter on every single page is handwritten by somebody called a sofer or a soferet, a scribe. And every single page of the entire Torah is hand-stitched together. And it's all written on this special kind of parchment paper with a special kind of ink. And people train for years and years and years to learn how to do this. So this is very special that we get to unroll. Not only is the object as a whole sacred and special to us, and we want to make sure that we're treating it as gently as possible, but every single page and every single letter is truly, truly special.
Just be careful not to poke it.
And came with skill and with dedication to bring this whole piece to us, to our community. Okay, so now we are going to find our places in the Torah. So sixth graders and anybody else who wants to participate, if your Torah portion is in the book of Genesis, in the book of Bereshit, I want you to come towards this side of the room. They're right here? Fabulous. Oh, Amy's got it. Fantastic. So we have, let's see, Daphne. Amazing. Daphne is in Parshat Toldot, which starts, so if Genesis is way over there, Bereshit bara Elohim, see that big, we see this nice big bet at the very beginning, the bet that's bigger than any of the other letters. So Parshat Toldot, if that's chapter 1, Parshat Toldot is in chapter 25. Daphne, do you know the first couple words of your Torah portion? Let's see. Ve'ela Toldot.
If anyone else wants to come on and help relieve some of the Torah
Daphne,
holders,
you want to come?
it's not heavy, but I'm hearing that it can be a little bit hard on the arms to stay in that one position.
Yeah.
So
if
feel
anybody
free
needs to
trade
tag
off.
out,
Yes, tag
if
out.
any of the holders need to tag out, just raise your hand so somebody can come and relieve you. All right, so Daphne, can you tell us a little bit about your Torah portion?
And friends, just be careful as if you're going underneath, which you should try to avoid, just be so careful not to bump into it with your back or your head, and try to stay on one side of it or the other. Okay. Thank you.
Amazing. All right, here.
And we need we're not hearing Daphne. Is the mic on?
Daphne, go for it.
My Torah portion is told out from the book of Genesis. My Torah portion has the birth of Jacob and Esau. Jacob and Esau's parents are Isaac and Rebekah. Jacob and Esau are twins, but they are very different. Jacob loves to stay inside the tent, and Esau loves to hunt. Isaac favorites Esau, and Rebekah favorites Jacob. Esau comes back from hunting and is so hungry that he trades his birthright for a pot of stew. Isaac is near death, so he tells Esau, "Go hunt some food for me, and I will give you the special blessing before I die." Rebekah overhears this and tells Jacob, "Go get a sheep so I can cook something for your father, so you can get Esau's special blessing." Jacob goes to Isaac, pretending to be Esau, and Isaac believes Jacob, and Jacob gets Esau's blessing. Esau's so mad when he finds out that he wants to kill Jacob, so Jacob leaves.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Daphne. Next up, Toby Paradise. What's your Torah portion, Toby?
Vayeshev,
Vayeshev. And what happens in Vayeshev?
or it's the well-known Torah portion where Joseph's brothers sell Joseph into slavery.
Yeah. Not happy stuff, but if you've seen Joseph in the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat, you'll be very familiar with this particular narrative. Fantastic. Thank you, Toby. And Eve, what is your Torah portion, Eve?
My Torah portion is Vayishlach, and it's from the book of Genesis, and it's about Jacob is going to meet his twin brother Esau, and he's very concerned to meet him because he believes Esau is going to harm him. But on the way to meeting Esau, Jacob wrestles with a mysterious person who we still do not know. And at the end of their wrestling, the mysterious person renames Jacob as Israel, and he leaves Jacob with a permanent limp. And then Jacob goes to meet Esau, and they hug for a reunion.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Eve. This is a big aspect of the Genesis narrative. Sorry, thank you. This is where we get Jacob wrestling with the angel and becoming Yisrael, one who wrestles with the divine. All right, so next we have Jonah Cohen. Jonah, tell us about your Torah portion.
My Torah portion is called Bashala in the book of Exodus. It is about Moses parting the Red Sea. In the story, Moses tries to get Pharaoh to free the Israelites. Pharaoh finally agrees and lets them go, but the Israelites know that Pharaoh might change his mind. Turns out he does, and Pharaoh's army comes chasing after the Israelites. The Israelites panicked, but then God parts the Red Sea using Moses' staff. All the Egyptian army dies. They were saved.
Amazing. And Jonah's Torah portion, they're all really special Torah portions, so you're going to hear me say this a lot. Jonah's Torah portion is very special because we have this incredible section right in the middle here called Shirat Hayam, right, the Song of the Sea. And as you can see, it's written very differently from Jonah. What do you see is different between this paragraph and all the paragraphs around it?
There's a lot of gaps.
There's a lot of gaps. What does it kind of sort of look like?
Oh yeah, parting of the Red.
Right, it kind of looks like waves, right? And there's this idea of kind of the separation, this parting of the sea that we actually see physically written in the text. Can everybody see it? Right here? Amazing. Thank you so much, Jonah. You want to pass the microphone down to
Leo?
Leo.
All right, Leo.
Fantastic.
My Torah portion is about Moses talking to God. It is called V'Yakil.
Fabulous.
That's my portion.
Thank you so much. And actually, before we continue, I just want to point out one more thing. So we have the Song of the Sea here, and over here we have some text that might be familiar to folks. It also looks a little bit different, and it's the Ten Commandments. Right here. This is the Ten Commandments, round one. We'll get a recap in Deuteronomy a little bit later on, which is very exciting. But again, when you see these gaps, you know something cool's going on. So we've got the Ten Commandments right here. All right, thank you, Leo and Max. Max Middleman.
My
What's your
Torah
parsha?
portion is called Pikudei. It's at the very end of Exodus.
Yes.
And it's about how Moses, under the orders of God, creates the very first synagogue. It's a moving synagogue called the Tabernacle that they can pick up and move whenever the Israelites are wandering through the desert.
Amazing. So we all recall from the Exodus story, right? We get the Ten Commandments and lots of other commandments, but we specifically receive the tablets. Moses goes up the mountain, and then he comes down. and then he smashes them, they break, the jury is out as to the exact impetus for the breaking of the tablets, and then he goes back up to get new tablets that he has to handwrite himself.
So if anyone
And then-
in the room had the golden calf as part of their Torah portion, that's around here. Moses is
Yes.
displeased.
Moses is displeased,
And
but
that is why most people think he smashed the tablets, had a little temper tantrum.
Yes.
Because the Israelites built the golden calf. So if there's anyone here
And-
who remembers that, you're somewhere around here.
Yep. And the tabernacle, or the Mishkan, right, is the container that the tablets will live in. It's the portable sanctuary, essentially the portable ark that the people carry with them through the desert into the promised land. So we have arks in all of our own sanctuaries, but this was the very, very first, essentially prototype ark that we get in Jewish tradition. Fantastic. Next up we have, what's your name? Sydney. Amazing, Sydney. Tell us about your Torah portion.
My Torah portion was in More.
You speak into the mic.
My Torah portion was in More, and it was about the unjust punishments for minor mistakes that people made, like death. And yeah.
Amazing. So we are now in the book of Vayikra, aka Leviticus, right? We see this big gap between the paragraphs, so that's how we know we're in a new book of the Torah. Fantastic. And we have Parshat Amor, and then we have.
I'm Alexa, and my parsha is also more.
Oh,
we're
hello.
twins.
It's
Yeah.
nice to see you all.
They're twins.
I see. I'm meeting them for the first time. This is wonderful. Hello.
Yeah, and I focused on blemishes and defects in people, and that like how in the Torah it's focused on as a bad thing when it could be good as well.
Fantastic. All right, and so we are continuing through the book of Leviticus, and we get to Adam Grayson.
Hi, I'm Adam, and my Torah portion is Parashat Kedoshim from Leviticus, and the Torah portion is about how God has given Moses instructions to be conveyed to the people of Israel, and they kind of make it so the people of Israel can have like a close relationship with God. The Torah portion also has like a lot of elements relating to the saying, treat others the way you want to be treated, and Kedoshim also means holy in English.
Fabulous.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Adam. So there are a few things that are really special about Parshat Kedoshim. So Kedoshim is about the exact middle point of the Torah, right? We see the beginning all the way over there. We can see the end all the way over there, but we are right smack in the middle. And what's exciting about Parshat Kedoshim as well is if you were here on Yom Kippur, you heard us read from Parshat Kedoshim. In the Reform movement, in Reform communities, we read about how, thinking on this day about how we can be most holy and be our best selves out there in the world. We start in here thinking about how our ancestors thought about holiness and being the best possible people they could be in the world. And so we try to bring the messages of that holiness, that Kedoshim, out into our day-to-day lives. Fantastic. Thank you, Adam. And next we have, what's your name? Sorry? Sam.
Okay, so I have the Torah portion Bechukotai from the book of Leviticus. So the Torah portion Bechukotai, is about the rewards you get if you follow God's commandments, and punishments you get if you don't. And it also briefly goes over the payment of vows and gifts to the sanctuary.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Sam.
Yasher koach. Everyone is doing an amazing job.
So
And
everybody's
I just want
doing
to point
so
out,
great.
it's sixth graders who are studying now for soon to be studying or studying already, but also we've heard from seventh and eighth graders.
Fabulous. So Sam, with Parshat Bechukotai, is our very last Parsha in the book of Leviticus. So we are on to the book of Numbers with, what's your name? Isabel. Isabel, what's your Torah portion?
Naso. So my Torah portion is Naso from the book of Numbers. The census began in the book of Numbers. God spoke to Moses, telling him what to do with the unclean people / pretty much the sick ones, the sick people.
Yeah.
At the end of my portion, God tells Moses to teach Aaron and his other sons the priestly blessing. And as we know, we already said the priestly blessing once, so but I'm just going to say it again. May God bless you and protect you. May God deal kindly and graciously with you. May God bestow divine favor upon and grant you peace.
Can you hear Ratzon? As we learned earlier, thank you so much, Isabel.
Thank you, Izzy.
All the way down that way.
Amy is going to run our microphone all the way down.
We're going to Deuteronomy.
Towards the end. We're in Deuteronomy, the book of Devarim, the very, very last book of the Torah. And we are in Parshat Re'eh with Mira Munzer. Mira, tell us about your Parsha.
Hi, my name's Mira, and I had Parshat Re'eh, and it was about the laws of kashrut and keeping kosher.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Mira.
Our very last one is Emma.
Hi, I'm Emma. My portion is Kitavo. It is about Moses and God preparing the Israelites to enter Israel. In it, there are many blessings and curses to remind the Israelites of everything that God has done for them, how to behave and abide by rules, and how to live a meaningful Jewish life.
Excellent. Yes, thank you so much, Emma. So here we are in the book of Devarim. See this big chunk missing between the paragraphs. So this is the very last book of the Torah. What's interesting about the book of Devarim, of Deuteronomy, is that according to scholars, it was written much, much later than the other books. So basically, Deuteronomy is a recap of just about everything we heard before. The only thing that's different is the very, very end, when Moses ascends the mountain at the end of his life. It's actually a cliffhanger. We have this whole story just about from Shirat Hayam, way over there. Remember where, what's your name? Sorry. In the red pants, yeah.
That's where Rachel is standing. Yes.
So where Rachel is standing, right? So that's right after the Exodus, and all of this is the journey through the desert. And Moses doesn't even get to enter. He doesn't even get to go. He passes along his wisdom, he passes along the laws, he passes along essentially the proverbial baton of leadership onto the next generation. And that baton, that wisdom, that ability, that relationship with the law and with God, however you define that, has been passed along the generations to us. These are the laws. This is the baton that you are holding in your hands, that you see encircling this whole room. And we are so very lucky that we get to be here together to experience this. So now, in Simchat Torah fashion, we will be reading both the very beginning, or rather the very end, and then the very beginning of the Torah.
So unlike a regular Torah service where we would call one of you, or maybe a certain group of you, as we did on the High Holy Days, to take an Aliyah blessing, in this case, we are going to just divide ourselves. I think now we have a bit of a distribution between this side of the room and the other side of the room. So since this is going to be the side that we're going to read from first, this is going to be the Deuteronomy side, and Rabbi Jen is going to chant from us from Deuteronomy. I'm going to invite this other side of the room to be the Aliyah blessing chanter. Now what that means is, if you can locate your prayer book, I know this means shuffling around a little bit, the Aliyah blessing is on page 242 in this prayer book. 243. And we have something very special that we have to do first, unlike on any other time when we read the Torah. And that is, so there's a lot of imagery around weddings, marriages, when we talk about Torah, that the Torah represents this agreement between God and the Jewish people, right? It is what the Jewish people agreed to live by and be part of this special covenant, this relationship and this agreement with God. And we have this image of a chatan, a groom, or a kala, a bride, that we use when we call someone to read the Torah on Simchat Torah. So I'm going to call out in a very special way Rabbi Jen,
by her Hebrew name because she is going to chant the end of the book of Deuteronomy. And this side of the room is going to take the Aliyah. You're going to chant that introductory blessing. And if you don't know it, ask your kids. They know it, but I think a lot of you know it. And just join in as you're comfortable. And then we're going to do the same, but in reverse. And I'm going to read the beginning of the book of Genesis, the beginning of the whole Torah. And Rabbi Jen's going to call me and this half of the room for the Aliyah. So here we go. Imdi, imdi, imdi. That means arise, arise, arise. Ta'amud kalat Torah harabaya elea bat Pinchas v'Sara Miriam kalat Torah. Okay. Moshe ben Mea v'Esrim shana b'moto v'lo hachata eino lo nashacha vayivko b'nei Yisrael et Moshe barbot Moav shloshim yom vayitmo yemei ha'vechi evel Moshe thank you. Yehoshua bin Nun, Malay Ruach Chochma, Kisamach Moshe, et Yad Yidao, Adonai Panim El Panim. No, that's not right. Sorry. Sorry, I skipped a line, so I'm going to go back. Yadav Elav V'Yisam'u Elav B'nei Yisrael V'Ya'asu Ka'asher Tziva Adonai El Moshe V'lo kam Navi od B'Yisrael K'Moshe Asher Yadu Adonai Panim El Panim Lechol Ha'otot V'Hamofrid Asher Shalchu Adonai La'asot Be'eretz Mitzrayim L'paro u'lechol avadav u'lechol artzo u'lechol hayad ha'hazaka u'lechol hamorah hagadol asher asa Moshe le'enei kol Yisrael. Okay, now before we read the English of what Rabbi Jen just read, we're going to say the Aliyah blessing because we forgot to say it. So one, I'd like to say it gets easier.
3. Baruch et Adonai hamvorach.
Baruch Adonai hamvorach le'olam va'ed.
Baruch Adonai hamvorach le'olam va'ed. Baruch ata Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch ata Adonai noten ha'Torah.
Amen.
Now Rabbi Jen will read the English translation of the end of Deuteronomy.
Moses was 120 years old when he died. His eyes were undimmed and his vigor unabated. And the Israelites mourned for Moses at the steps of Moab for 30 days. The period of wailing and mourning for Moses then came to an end. Now Joshua, son of Nun, was filled with the spirit and of wisdom because Moses had laid his hands upon him, and the Israelites heeded him, doing as the Eternal had commanded to Moses. But never again did there arise in Israel a prophet like Moses, whom the Eternal singled out face to face for the various signs and portents that the Eternal sent him to display in the land of Egypt against Pharaoh and all his courtiers and his whole country, and for all the great might and awesome power that Moses displayed before all of Israel.
Chant the concluding blessing.
And to...
Yes.
Oh, I thought we already did. I think we already did. But when we end a book of the Torah, or when we end the entire Torah, we say together 3 words. It's actually 2 words. One is repeated. Chazak, chazak, v'nit chazek. All right.
And now the concluding blessing.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lanu Torah emet, v'chayei olam nata b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. All right. We are not even going to let a minute go by before we start the Torah over again. Isn't that amazing?
Amazing.
It is really powerful. So I'm going to let Rabbi Jen call me as the Kalat Bereshit, the bride of Bereshit, not the bride of Frankenstein, the bride of Bereshit, of the book of Genesis. And then the other half of the room is going to say, the side of the room over by Deuteronomy is going to say the introductory blessing. All right, go ahead, Rabbi Jen.
Imdi, Rav Chaya Sarah, Bat Yirmiyahu Valeya, Kalat Bereshit, Adonai Hamvorach,
Baruch Adonai Hamvorach Leolam Va'ed,
Baruch Adonai Hamvorach Leolam Va'ed, Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim, v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. Bereshit bara Elohim et hashamayim ve'et ha'aretz. והארץ הייתה תוהו ובוהו, וחושך על פני תהום, ורוח אלוהים מרחפת על פני המים. ויאמר אלוהים יהי אור ויהי אור, וירא אלוהים את האור כי טוב, ויבדל אלוהים בין האור ובין החושך. ויקרא אלוהים לאור יום ולחושך קרא לילה, ויערב ויבוקר יום אחד.
All right, and blessing after. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lanu Torat emet, v'chayei olam nata b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
And we're going to wish Rabbi Berkman a hearty Yasher Koach.
Thank you, Baruch Tia. So that's it, folks. I just read the first day of creation. We went from
bonkers.
The end of Torah back to the beginning, and I can't stop talking about how powerful that is. But I'm so glad you're all here to experience it in real time. And I must say, this group of Genesis holders over here is doing a stellar job. And I've noticed that there are people gathered around. Was this your Torah portion? I've noticed there are some people who, from years back, are near their Torah portions, which is really moving. So now is the fun part. We are going to do our hakafot, our circles. We're encircled by Torah. We're going to circle Torah. We're going to re-roll the Torah
So
right now.
we're actually going to start from from this side of the room.
Yes,
Because
we're
we
gonna
want to
start
be
from the other
back.
end,
We
'cause
want to
we-
have Bereshit accessible to
Good
us.
call.
So we're
Good
going to
call.
start rolling it. I'm going to come and help very slowly and very carefully. I'm going to ask you guys to take a step forward.
And we are going to sing some very famous and ancient words that are sung for these hakafot. And if you would like to follow along in the prayer book, they're on page 236. And we sing, Ana Adonai Hoshiana. God, please save us. That's what that means. It's catchier in Hebrew. So if you want to join with us on page 236, Hakafa 1. Elohei haruchot Hoshiana. Bochei levavot hatzlichana. Goel chazak anenu veyom koreinu. Anenu veyom koreinu. Dover tzedakot Hoshiana. Hadur levusho bilvusho hatzlichana. Vatik v'chasid anenu v'yom koreinu. Anenu v'yom koreinu. Where is Hakafah 3? Oh yeah, I thought we were starting rolling.
She told them not to.
Oh no, we want to just start from there. Oh, okay. Yeah, so we're going to start. So we're going to roll from each side, friends, so we can start dancing post haste. All right, we're going to sing, and we will soon dance our way outside. Let's sing on page 237. Hine ma tovu manayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tovu manayim shevet achim gam yachad.
Hine ma tov shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov manayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov manayim shevet achim gam
We're
yachad.
going to go to page 238 where we see Hakafah 3 and Hakafah 4 while we're still rolling. Zach v'yashar Hoshiana. Chomel dalim hatzlichana. Tovu mitiv anenu v'yom koreinu. Anenu v'yom koreinu. Yodea machashavot Hoshiana. Kabir min haor hatzlichana. Lovish tzedakot anenu v'yom koreinu. Anenu v'yom koreinu. Melech olamim Hoshiana. Naor ve'adir hatzlichana. Somech nuflim
say Yasher Koach to everybody who held the Torah, everybody who is so carefully rolling the Torah and continuing to hold it. This really shows that a community is only as strong and stable as its members and as its members of all ages who are willing to help. So we're going to continue to sing. David Spar and Josh Cohen have some awesome music for us. Then when we go outside, we have even more musicians. So everyone is invited to dance in circles with our Torah scrolls, and our teens, when they're done holding the Torah, are going to come and bring our Torah scrolls out. Thank you, teens.
Shlosha devarim. Head on outside. Shlosha devarim. Shlosha devarim. Haolam omer. Shlosha devarim. Shlosha devarim. Shlosha devarim haolam omer. Al haTorah ve'al ha'avodah ve'al gemilut chasadim. Al haTorah ve'al ha'avodah ve'al gemilut chasadim. Lo yisagoy el goy cherem. Yulmedu milchama. Follow the Torahs. Lo yisagoy el goy cherem. Lo yulmedu milchama. Lo yisagoy el goy cherem. Lo yulmedu milchama. Lo yisagoy el goy cherem. Lo yulmedu milchama. Yisagoy el goy cherem, yismedu milchama. Yisagoy el goy cherem, yismedu milchama. Lo yisagoy el goy cherem, lo yismedu milchama. Lo yisagoy el goy cherem. Am Yisrael, Am Yisrael, Am Yisrael Chai. 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 Or Avinu Chai, Or Avinu Chai, Or Avinu, Or Avinu, Or Avinu Chai, Or Avinu Chai, Or Avinu Chai, Or Avinu, Or Avinu, Or Avinu Chai. Am Yisrael, Am Yisrael, Am Yisrael 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 Chai. Or Avinu Chai, Or Avinu Chai, Or Avinu, Or Avinu, Or Avinu Chai. Or Avinu Chai, Or Avinu Chai, Or Avinu, Or Avinu, Or Avinu Chai. Am Yisrael, Am Yisrael, Am Yisrael 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 Chai. Or Avinu Chai, Or Avinu Chai, Or Avinu, Or Avinu, Or Avinu Chai. Or Avinu Chai, Or Avinu Chai. Or Avinu, Or Avinu, Or Avinu Chai. All right, let's bring the party out to the street, y'all. Thank you, Alex Brodsky, in the balcony. Pick drop. What's up, gentlemen? Thanks, man. Go over there.